Hi, my name is Shanna Irwin. I'm originally from the United States of America. I've been dancing since I was a child, and I now dance in Montreal with Le Ballet Jaz de Montreal.
Hello, my name is Yosmell Calderon. I'm Cuban. I came from Cuba, and nowadays I'm dancing with Le Ballet Jaz of Montreal. I have been dancing since I was 12, so yes, I'm super happy to be a dancer.
So the journey that brought me to Ballet Jazz, I started my training in New Jersey. From there, we used to be taken for summer intensives to Canada, but in Vancouver. So that was my first connection to Canada. After that, I moved to New York City and I danced with the company there for 5 years. And after that, I felt like it was time for a change, and opportunity brought me to Montreal to come and dance for this company.
After dance 9 years in Cuba for National Dance of Cuba or Danza Contemporánea de Cuba, I went to Hungary, then and stayed there 2 years and a half. Then I went to Paris. I was there as a choreographer, as a dancer. I danced for Châtelet Opera in Paris as a dancer and as a choreographer. It was a beautiful experience. And at the same time, at this point, was Le Ballet Jaz of Montreal there. So they were looking for a dancer since one of my friends and best friends, one of the most known well choreographers in the world, Ixi Galili, I get an audition for Le Ballet Jaz of Montreal, and since 2016 I have been working here.
So when I first arrived to Montreal, I found out that I would be partnering a lot with Yosmell. And so I think one of my most memorable moments with him was when one of our first performances together. It had happened very quickly and faster than we had expected it to. And then I think it was just a performance that in the moment we had to be very aware of one another and just be ready for anything to happen. And then from there, we had a lot more opportunities to dance together, and I feel it's only gotten better from there, and we always know that together we have room to grow.
My first one was in Lyon, France. It was my first time that I came out of, I will not say the first time, but it was the first time that I interacted with the audience in this way, because the audience was like completely into what we did. And the Le Maison de la Danse in Lyon is huge. All the sceneries and all the audience was completely in front of us and was so beautiful for us. At this point was like, I guess, super emotional and beautiful. That for me was my first memorable experience in dance. My last show was so emotional also, because the audience knew that I will leave the country. So for me it was really beautiful. And finally, and a beautiful time was when I met this beautiful woman. And since there 2 years ago, we have been dancing together. So more than grow up together, we have been creating and building a communication and a way of be ourselves all the time, not just as a dancer, but as a human beings.
So in the spring, it's usually a time where I'm a little bit really believing that it's about to be warmer outside. But with that, I try to pretend that I don't still need a coat when I actually do. And so I always choose to wear a lot of layers. Usually a thin jacket and a scarf, anything like this.
In my case, my wardrobe will be like full of jacket for sure, because I came from the tropical weather. So I hope you can imagine, guys, that it's hard for me sometimes to adapt and switch from winter time to spring sometimes. But anyway, it's really enjoyable to see that it's like a little bit more like hot and warm. I would say that my wardrobe is full of jackets at this point.
Yeah, he has a lot of coats. For me, to partner with a brand that cares about the environment is super important because I think it's a way that we can spread more knowledge to different communities. Like even for us in the dance community, a lot of people love the all sustainable clothing and to live a sustainable life, and to bring this type of clothing also into their life, I think is really special.
In my particular case, to like get this responsibility with the environment and to see brands that they are working from this point for me is an idea and concept is really like made me really proud, because it's really important that we as a human beings and as a dancers also, and every part of the world, we can get this important responsibility to give the best of our environment and I will say world to the future generations. It's really important that all the brands are into that nowadays, and especially Point Zero. So I'm completely like chapeau about that. And it's a beautiful and perceptive way of see the future in the best way. So thank you, Point Zero.
I would say a lot of dancers, like dancers who have the similar experiences to us, we're traveling all the time, so we get to see the world in a different perspective than a lot of people. And I think we're able to experience different cultures, and we can see the impact that we have on the world, and bringing ourselves as performers to other countries. But I think we can also take so much from each place we go and learn about the world in this type of way. For me, my favorite part about living in Montreal is the fact that I can feel like I'm in a city, but then in 5 minutes I can also be in a park that you can just be surrounded by a lot of nature.
One of the most important things about Montreal and what bring me to Montreal is the new experience. Again, I came from this warm weather, and just to realize about how it's going everything here in Canada and not just in Montreal is completely like a beautiful experience for me. And I can approach that on the way that I can grow up also as a human being, and that is amazing. New experience, new culture, new language. So for me, it's completely like thanks God I'm here. So thank you, Montreal.
For me, something that's really important is that everybody understands that we can always give back. If you're holding information that you think is only knowledge for yourself, it's actually more helpful to give it to somebody else.
I will say that one of the most valuable things that I would like to give is the communication, this interact between people, and always be honest with what we want, how we want that, why we want that. And like this we create, I will not say a platform, but it's a beautiful way of see the future in a best way and a best place. So for me, everything is about team, group, and go far enough on the way that we can just be ourselves in a best way. As a Buddhist guy, I always go into that, and for my colleagues in dance, for every single step that I'm taking in my life, one of my principal concepts is that group, team, everything together, that will bring us to a better place for sure.